fighter. Stepping into the ring and fighting out the red corner, Brandon Morgan!
Welcome to Combat Challenge Stand and Strike here at Prism in Leeds. Alex Kinn and Rich Kenny in the commentary position. Coming out first for this boxing bout is Brandon Morgan.
So we've got 4 2-minutes of boxing today. Previous fights boys have been set over 3, so it's getting longer duration now as the experience of the fighters extends basically. Not a whole lot known about Brandon. He's a reasonably tall guy for his weight as well. He's fighting Jaie Lyons. He'll be coming out shortly, find out the blue corner.
And so far tonight we've seen some exceptional striking in K1, kickboxing and boxing, Rich. So we've got a lot more things to come this evening, but so far this capacity crowd is looking fantastic.
And his opponent stepping into the ring and fighting out the blue corner, Jaie Lyons!
This is Jaie Lyons coming out as his opponent. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, so this is actually, although it's a boxing match over 4 2-minute rounds, Jaie Lyons fighting out TCMMA. He's had about 14 years of the kickboxing experience, so although this is his first time boxing, he has a very well-trained kickboxer. He's fighting about 6'1", that's a 23-year-old, and pretty much weighed in exactly the same as Brandon earlier on. Trained with some really good guys out at TCMMA. In his corner at the moment, I think he's got Darren Moffat, LJ Fordham, and he's also training an awful lot with Disco Dave Lowe, who's a fairly well-experienced guy on the local Yorkshire circuit as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the official introduction. The fighter fighting out the red corner, weighing in at 74. He's 19, stands 6 tall. He fights Aaron Murray, Camp and Hills from Manchester, Brandon the Beat Machine Morgan! And his opponent fighting out the blue corner, weighing in at 73.3. He's 23, stands 6'1". He fights out of Total Combat MMA and hails from Bradford, Jaie Lyons!
Yeah, so Rater v Morgan for this one. Height's pretty much negligible at this point here. It's 4 2-minute rounds of boxing. Slightly bigger fighter in Brandon Morgan. Slightly more solid fighting out of Murray Camp. But expect good things here from Jaie. Like I said, inexperienced boxer, but very experienced kickboxer, so a lot of balance in that one as well.
We're expecting to see some educated hands, even if he can't throw his feet in this particular.
Yeah, that's right. Instead, they're basically tearing it up straight away. Both these guys quite keen to throw some
wild
shots.
flurries.
Big shots early.
Wasting no time whatsoever.
Yeah, straight to it, down to business. No feeling out process, no jab. So Brandon in the black shorts and Jaie Lyons in the RDX black, white and red shorts.
Lyons just walking down Morgan for the time being.
Started a bit fast and furious there, didn't it, Alex?
A little bit.
Maybe a little bit more time to sort of feed out. It is 4 2-minute rounds, not the 3-2s we've had previously, so they will need to carry their gas tanks that extra round. I think these guys not quite actually where they need to be range-wise, quite happy to both stand opposite each other and basically just throw absolute heat at each other. Oh. Great straight punch there from Rater.
Morgan was wobbled slightly,
really well. Morgan refusing to pick his hands up high and quite happy just to try and move his head there, really. Nice slip as well. He's timing that left sort of shot from Rater, timing it really well and dipping and rolling very nicely actually.
And trying to come at that big right hand off the counter as well, which might serve him quite well if Lyons continues to throw wildly in these exchanges.
Yeah, that's right. I think this will actually probably tighten up a little bit as this goes on a bit. Both these guys really excited to make their debuts, and Brandon, like I said, actually he's got a nice little ducking style there, but the straight punches from Rater there actually finally finding a home for multiple punches as well. Neither guy throwing particularly organised combinations, very much sort of just big shots, but they are throwing punches in bunches though as well, so not just big singles, but the straighter punches probably coming from Lyons at this moment in time.
And that's round 1 in the books, and I think it's fair to say that Lyons got the bigger impact punches in there. They were a little bit more, slightly more damage, but obviously Morgan just just braving it out and refusing to show any sort of emotion whatsoever when on the receiving end, which is all to his credit.
Yeah, both these guys are a little bit wild at the pacing at the moment. Both these guys throwing maybe a little bit too much leather and thinking a little too little about it as well, to be honest. But quite happy to exchange punches, and I'm quite happy to watch them if they're going to do it. So
absolutely, I'm sure our capacity crowd is equally happy to watch these guys go after each other's chins with haymakers. But I think the corner of Morgan has got different ideas. By the body language is
the corners of both guys looks very similar, which is tying up your punches, not quite so much looping.
Let's see some stuff down the pipe.
Let's keep it a little bit straighter if we can. Yeah. But you know, if they're happy to stand toe to toe and just throw leather at each other, I'm happy to watch it.
Okay, round 2 is underway, and just 1 second, here we go.
So Morgan practically flying out of the corner there, doesn't want to stand on the edge there, and Lyons coming in for the second round. A little bit slower than the start of the first this time, Al.
Interesting to see the high shoulders of Lyons there, a bit of a tell there from his previous career.
Both actually carrying their hands quite low though. Like, there's big shots been thrown, but both guys carrying it around about chest height, no one really protecting their face, if I'm honest. You know, that's the first time I've seen Morgan tuck his right hand near his jaw. Massive right hand over the top there. Great at moving just enough to take some of the sting off it, but that was a shot.
That was a clean shot.
Like I said, he was moving slightly, so it took a little bit off that punch, but it was
it found the mark. It found the mark.
Yeah, it certainly reverberated around this this club. Getting a little bit of space there. Like I said, straight punches, you know, would probably be the way to go at this point in time here, with neither of these guys having particularly high hands. But massive shot again.
And again.
That's the second time in 3 punches he's landed that big right. Massive straight right as well. You can hear the crowd just, you know, groaning every time that right hand's thrown. He's landed that 3 solid rights inside about a 6-punch, 8-second window there as well. And Lyons obviously not happy about it and decided to throw back as well. But very impressive from Morgan to land that with quite that volume.
He's finding his range, and he's finding a technique that seems to be getting through the defensive Lyons without too much.
Big breath in though. Like, I'm slightly concerned that he's blown his wad a little bit early there. But you know, moving around, creating a bit of distance now, creating a bit of space. He's, you know, that right hand there not quite in range for him, but if he can get the range on that, I think that's the shot that will go well for him against Jaie, to be honest. Oh, throwing his gum shield there. He's thrown his gum shield and receiving a standing 8 count, as you'd expect. Would kind of expect obviously disqualification for that, despite his gum shield, because he's absolutely exhausted.
There's only so many massive overhands you can throw in 4 minutes.
It's kind of strange to give the round away there. Obviously he's slightly tired, but he's literally thrown that round away at that point.
Disappointing, Rich. Disappointing, because this is the round in which he started to make some real progress.
Saw him take some big breaths towards the latter half of that round and try and get his lungs back, but with 5 seconds to go in the round, just a really odd decision there to spit that gum shield, because he was landing the better shots in that round, was well ahead in that round by my point after those 3 huge right hands which were really recognisable to the crowd as well. Like I said, people were really hearing them shots. The judges obviously will be swayed by that as well. So to spit that out just seems a very
But this would represent a very, very good opportunity for Lyons when he leaves his stool. He knows his opponent is very, very badly fatigued, and he knows that he has the straighter punches, and he has shown some real strength in the flurries. If he can avoid these big shots on the break, he might be able to capitalise. But then saying that, Morgan has taken the centre of the ring back ready to it again, so a second win perhaps.
Yeah, I hope so, because he was really making a fight of it in that round there, and I'm just hugely confused by that decision. He didn't look visibly exhausted. I mean, we saw that big breath when he was over in the right-hand corner, just opposite the blue corner, but
some visible frustration on the face of Morgan there. He missed that big right hand again.
There is nothing worse when you get an adrenaline dump and it comes down a little bit, but you know, I am confused by that. The thing is, he's just thrown a couple of really nice, straight, fast jabs, so he's obviously got these lovely straight punches in his arsenal, but much happier just to throw a big single shot. And Lyons probably looking like he wants to create some separation and throw some of these shots back as well, because he's eaten a few there, and he doesn't want to stand in there and trade with him. I think he looks like the slightly more mobile fighter, and he's letting himself get hit a bit easily here, really. Big shots from Morgan. Oh, massive shot there. Huge left, huge right. Absolutely swinging for the fences at this point.
Morgan's almost taken himself off his own feet with some of the power in these punches.
Landing that massive right hand, just sort of 15 seconds ago there that almost dropped Lyons by the looks of it. He obviously was coming forward, but he ate that shot. He really ate it.
The chin of Lyons is obviously not to be underestimated.
No, but has been tested with that big shot. Hear the crowd screaming for Jaie at the moment. Nice straight punch there.
Morgan again with his hands very low. It's a risky strategy.
Yeah, he's been very lucky to get away with that so far. And Lyons not got away with it quite as much. Looking exhausted as he sits in the corner and eats shots though. Big left hand out of there though, so he's still in this fight if he wants to throw it, but he's looking a bit dejected almost. Looks a bit exhausted and not really sure what to do. His hands are dropped right by his waist. Don't really feel he's got an adequate gas tank for 4 2-minute rounds. Eating a lot of shots there, and he's going to have to be careful he doesn't get a standing 8 here. Big right hand over the top. He can land this shot when he wants. He just seems like he's completely exhausted.
And that's round 3 in the books, and again it's more of the same.
He's telling his coach that he's absolutely knackered and doesn't really want it anymore at this point here, but.
Yes, he's using slightly different vocabulary to you, Rich, but that was what my lip reading told me.
I think he was insinuating that he was slightly.
Oh, and that's it. He's been waved off by Brad Conway.
Looks like Brandon just didn't really want to come out for that 4th round. Looks frustrated and exhausted.
Yeah, Morgan can't answer the bell for the 4th and final round, so it goes to Jaie Lyons there.
So yeah, Jaie Lyons come out and has taken that fight just by being the more conditioned fighter, really. Fairly balanced fight overall, but I'd like to see a 4th, to be honest. I'd like to see Morgan with the lungs for a 4th.
Because Morgan could land, and when he did, he hurt Lyons.
He definitely hurt. He had the bigger punches in that fight, but just looked like he didn't have the tank.
Going to show what we already knew, that stamina is one of your biggest weapons in the cage or the ring.
At the end of the 3rd round, the red corner refused to come out and were pulled out by the corner team. Therefore, declaring your winner in the blue corner, Jaie Lyons! Please show your appreciation for Brandon Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 15-minute interval.